Hi everyone, welcome to your latest blog instalment from Grace's Rest. Sorry it wasn't yesterday. I've been trying to make sure that these go up in a timely manner every Monday, and yesterday was just one of those days. It just was not going to happen. But here we are. I've finally got a few minutes to sit down and tell you all about what's been going on. I think the biggest thing I need to talk to you about today, we are going to have a vlog, but it's going to be more of a sort of almost like a public service announcement for Grace's Rest. A lot of stuff's changing here, and I want you guys to know it. Grace's Rest operates on complete transparency with all of its supporters, and it's important to me that you guys know exactly what's going on. That's why you support me, because you know where your money's going, you know what our work ethics are, you know what direction we're heading, and all that sort of stuff. So this is really important. I really need you guys to know this and understand why we've come to this decision. Because obviously my PhD is starting soon, and because sadly I am not getting great feedback from the hospital and my doctors as to my personal health at the moment, I'm going to have to make the conscious decision to not take in as many animals for a period of time. This is not a decision that I've taken lightly. I do not want to have to do this. But as long as we are in the premises that we are, I cannot have volunteers in here. And as you know, Grace's Rest is a one-woman operation. Yep, my partner Graham, a lot of you that have come to see me at events will have met Graham. He's lovely, he's great at fundraising, but he's still being trained as far as the animals are concerned. I can't send him out on rescues, for instance. It would be unfair and potentially unsafe for me to do that, to make him do that. And I wouldn't feel comfortable doing it. I want to make sure that I continue to provide the animals that do come here with the top level of care, top level of nutrition, the best veterinary care that I can give them. Now, if I'm doing a PhD study, now maybe if you're watching this somewhere else around the world, PhD is a doctorate. It will make me a doctor in the subject that I study. It's the highest level that you can study to, and with the best one in the world, I can't afford to pay for it, so I'm currently applying for sponsorship to do this. Now, say somebody decides that, yes, we're going to sponsor this woman to do this study, and it's going to cost them more than a few £1,000s. Very, very few people are in the lucky position to be able to pay for their own PhD. It's a minimum 3-year study, many thousands of pounds a year to do this. And if somebody is gifting me this money, or rather gifting the university this money, because I won't actually see it myself, it will just go straight to the uni, I can't give it anything but 100%. And this study is going to have massive, massive impacts on the trade in wildlife and exotic pets around the world. And I've been battling with this for months, ever since I first toyed with the idea of doing a PhD. But I've got to think big picture. I've got to think, it's so hard because, there's that adage of, you might not change the world by rescuing one animal, but for that animal it changes the world. It's like, yes, I know that. We all know that. It's a very, very soppy, if true, little motto. But I've got to think of the big picture. I've got to. I'm still going to be here as the first port of call, and we will still be accepting animals. Do not think we are closing. We are not closing. That would be completely counterproductive. We're still going to be here as the first port of call for advice for you and your exotic pet and its needs. I will still be here to rehome animals when there is space here. I will still be here to help you find a placement with a reputable rescue elsewhere. This means, as far as communication goes, nothing is going to change. I am still going to be here just as much, and I will still be here for my clients and for the animals. It just means that I won't be able to have as many animals in our reptile room and in our mammal room as I would, not necessarily as I would like, because obviously I'd love there to be none that need rescuing, but I've got to think of my PhD and of the quality of care that I can give the other guys. I mean, this is going to take a huge amount of my time to be able to do it, and to be able to do it well, to do this study well. And obviously looking after the animals also takes an awful lot of time. So I've got to find that happy balance between the amount of animals that I can comfortably deal with and do the study well, whilst also not potentially putting myself in hospital. I have been told now by professionals that I have got to slow down, and my family has been telling me this for a long time. My friends have been screaming it at me for ages, and I just kept going, yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. You know, it's going to be all right, it's going to be all right. And they kept saying, no, you're going to burn out, you're going to burn out. Well, it's happening, and my body is telling me that it's had enough, to the point where now I've actually got to go to a chronic pain clinic for some coping strategies, because there's nothing else they can do for me, essentially. I am going to try and get a second opinion, but that's another story. You're not here to listen to my medical problems. So we're not closing. For goodness sake, don't think we're closing. We're not closing. We're still going to be here. We're just not going to have as many animals on site at what, you know, on one particular occasion, you know, as we do or we have done in the past. It's not something I want to do, but it's the only option I've got. Speaking of which, we cannot, just because we haven't got as many animals in, we cannot be complacent about fundraising. We have got to carry on fundraising just as much, if not more, than we are doing now. The more we fundraise, the faster we can get into better premises. So please, guys, don't stop giving. Once we get better premises, we'll be able to take more animals. I'll be able to have volunteers. I will be able to have you guys that write to me nearly every day begging for work experience. I will be able to have you. I cannot have you here. I actually had someone turn up at the door over the weekend, and it was awful to see the look of devastation on this young person's face when I had to say no. It was terrible. But as soon as you help us fundraise to the point where we can have better premises, I can welcome you with open arms. I will be able to have an apprentice. That is a paid job where you will train while you get paid, and you'll be working here and learning hands-on. I've already had advice on this. I will be able to do it. It's just a matter of having the premises to be able to do it. But other than that, it's all fine. Yeah, the government says, great, you know, please have apprentices. That's wonderful. So, you know, I cannot stress how important that is. And it might seem, oh, she's not taking as many animals in, but she just wants the money. Kind of, in a strange way, but the money doesn't go to me. It's the animals' money. It's the animals' money. And we still need to fundraise just as much. Speaking of which, I do hope, if you haven't already noticed, if you follow us on Facebook, you will know that it's Lincoln Pride this weekend. And you're probably wondering what on earth gay pride has got to do with animals. Well, I have to say, we have a wonderful following in the LGBT community across the Midlands, and especially in Lincoln, because that's where we first started, and that was the first Pride that we went to. If you're a little bit concerned about what a Pride is, and you think, I don't know, you've got weird images of, you know, leather-clad men snogging in the street, yeah, you probably will see that, but it shows. You go to a Pride and it's nothing like what you expect it to be, and everything that you expect it to be at the same time. It's wonderful. It's just a celebration of love and acceptance in all its forms. And you will see people from all walks of life there. I cannot tell you how welcoming these events are. They're absolutely wonderful. And as I say, we've got an awful lot of friends in the LGBT community, particularly around Birmingham and especially around Lincoln. They've been very, very supportive of us in the past. We missed Pride last year, sadly. We were that hard up. We just couldn't afford to pay for pitch fees just about anywhere. It was awful. But now, as you can see, we're all over the place this year. It's wonderful. The reception we've had is absolutely amazing, and we cannot wait to come back to Pride. I've got a new display all about the LGBT animal kingdom. We are available, or I am available, to do lectures on this subject. If anybody wants to book us, please get in touch and I will come along, bring a nice presentation all about how being gay is natural, people. You're born that way, in my view. It's in just about every facet of the animal kingdom. So many animals form gay and lesbian alliances. It's ridiculous. You know, and these are committed relationships as well. These aren't necessarily passing flings. So, in celebration of Lincoln Pride, I have made a few new little fundraising bits and bobs. They're nothing special, but I thought they were quite funny. I've been keeping these a secret until now. We had a little hint yesterday on our Instagram and Facebook pages. I shared a picture, a very colourful picture of all the clippings from these guys. They are called Gracie's Rest Fuzzbugs. And here we go. Da da da! Isn't he cute? He's so, so sweet. We're going to sell these guys on our pitch at Lincoln Pride. It's the first time we've made them. We're all insured for them and everything. I really hope that thing's going to come into focus. I don't think it is. Little key rings, £2 each. All proceeds will go towards the animals and our campaign work and all the developments we've got going on here. So while I talk to you, I've got to sit here and put the labels on them. These are our little safety labels to say that they're not toys, and we have to put these on them as instructed by our insurance company, so that it's abundantly clear that it's not a toy, and it does have, you know, little small parts. I mean, to be fair, I've glued those on damn strong, so you'd really have to pull them to get them off, but that's not the point. That's not the point. We have to put the warning on there anyway. We've also had another shocking incident this week. Again, if you follow us on Facebook, you'll already know this, but now I'm on our vlog, I can give you a little bit more information. We had a message through on one of our classified sites, adverts. We do advertise through Pre-Loved. I was a little bit cautious of doing so when I first was sort of starting up and working out how to advertise Gracie's Rest, but we have had so many people reach out to us from it that it's worth keeping it up. But occasionally we get an odd one, and this one had to be the oddest inquiry that I have ever had. It was one line, one sentence: do you give away your animals? Now, that sort of stuff gets my back up anyway. We don't give away our animals at all. We do expect a donation. We don't sell them because obviously they're rescue animals and we're not a pet shop, but we do expect a donation towards their care. And the donation that we ask for as a minimum, no way lets us break even on the care for that animal. It doesn't, but it's a token amount that helps us on the road to helping the next one that comes along. So I was a little bit sort of concerned by this one sentence long inquiry, and chose to have a look at whether this person was advertising, you know, any animals for sale. And boy, were they. This person in one of their adverts fully admitted to asking for payment to take somebody's animal from them, including its housing, all its food and everything else. They wanted you to pay him or her. I don't know what sex this person was from the name. It was a bit cryptic. They want you to pay them £5 to take the animal and all of its equipment, which they will then rehome to themselves. They will then breed your animal and sell it along with its offspring. They will also, strangely, offer a pet boarding service as well. Now, if you haven't guessed already, this is not a legitimate rescue service, and this sort of thing, I'm hoping it's maybe just a young person that's a little bit misguided and hasn't quite learnt the ropes yet. And I'm still thinking I'm going to have to, you know, approach them and, you know, explain to them, because at the moment they've just had a flat no, we won't be rehoming to you. For obvious reasons, I hope you'll understand. I'm hoping it's maybe just somebody that's a bit misguided and doesn't quite understand things. But please, guys, don't give your animals to people like this. Please don't. You know, you will be doing nothing but signing that animal over to a miserable life. You don't know what's going to happen to it, where it's going to go. If this person is breeding from them, you're just proliferating the number of unwanted pets out there on the market. There are enough, and I'm talking all animals here, there are enough in rescues up and down the country without backdoor breeders creating any more lives. We don't need any more. And if you've got a cat or a dog, for goodness sake, get it spayed or neutered. It's that cheap these days. There is absolutely no excuse to go and get it done. There really, really isn't. My advice is, you know, as far as this sort of thing is concerned, is always, for goodness sake, if you cannot cope with your animal anymore for whatever reason, whatever it is, you've got to take it to a legitimate rescue service. Do not advertise it free to good home on classified sites, Facebook groups, things like that. Just don't do it. You know, you're setting it up for a fall. You're setting the poor creature up for a very, very uncertain future, and potentially a very, very dangerous one as well. So please, please don't do that. I'm just putting these back in their little box now. I'm going to show you them. They're cute. And they're all lined up in their little box. So yeah, please, please don't do that. If you're looking for a pet sitting service, Gracie's Rest is happy to recommend pet sitting services. There are a couple that we know of that are very, very good. And this is the key. They are fully licensed and fully insured for what they do. That is very, very, very important. Always, when you are considering using a pet service, ask to see their up-to-date licence from the local council and their insurance certificate for public liability insurance. You must see their insurance certificate. If they can't show you it, don't give them the time of day. They can't be insured. Being asked to present your insurance details is nothing. I get asked to do it all the time. Every time we book, say, a fundraising pitch anywhere, we always have to show our insurance. That's standard, you know, and it's there. I've got photocopies of them. I just give them out. You know, that's what you have to do. But there you go. So always make sure if you're using a rescue service, you do some research. You ask them about their credentials. Don't just believe Facebook or Preloved or Gumtree or anything like that. Do a bit of research first. And if you're looking for a pet boarding company, for goodness sake, ask to see their license and their insurance certificate before you even consider handing your animal over to a complete stranger. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. It really, really, really isn't worth it. I can't tell you much more about this advert in particular other than it was from the Cheltenham area, so just watch out if you're approached by somebody, particularly through a classified site, who is in the Cheltenham area wanting to take your animal from you. Just watch out. That's all I can say. Oh dear. So here they are. Look at their little googly eyes. Bless them, they're so cute. I've only made 12 of them. Wasn't quite sure how well they go down. But hey, it's Pride. There's going to be rainbows everywhere, so hopefully they'll like these little rainbow guys. They're also vegan as well. They're synthetic. There's no wool fibre in there, and the glue is has got no animal products in it either. So they are completely vegan, completely cruelty-free. I've also got the pleasure of putting safety labels on all of the key rings as well. I've never had to do it before, but my insurance company decided that they did want to this year. So I've now got to sit here, listen to this, and put safety labels on 50 key rings. That's going to be great fun, isn't it? We haven't had many admission requests this week. Usual stuff, another turtle that had to be referred on. Again, we can't take in turtles and terrapins until we get bigger premises. I'm sorry guys, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I'm trying to actually write another blog for you. But yeah, finding the time at the minute is an absolute nightmare. We're taking Grace back to the vet tomorrow as well. I've been avoiding talking about this, to be honest, because it's so upsetting. As she's gone on, she has made some progress. She's actually been passing stuff, which is great. To go from not passing anything at all, she is now passing stuff, which is wonderful. But the lump in her belly hasn't got any smaller at all, and she has continued to lose weight. And this is leading us to believe that actually it's probably some sort of cyst, or even worse, it's cancerous. And she's got some sort of tumour going on in there, in which case, in either case, rather, there's absolutely nothing that the vet can do for her, because at the end of the day, she's so tiny. I mean, she's like that big, if that. She's absolutely tiny, and to operate on her and to remove a lump of the size that it is, and sew her back up again, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen safely at all. The chances of recovery are so slim that we won't be putting her through that. So I don't know what the vet's going to say tomorrow. I'm trying to think positive, but at the minute it really feels quite dire. Obviously I'll update you guys as soon as we know, as soon as possible, what the outcome of that will be. Until then, we do hope to see you in Lincoln on Saturday. We're on the Brayford waterfront. There's going to be a parade through the town. I believe that starts at 11. Don't shoot me down, guys, if I'm wrong. If the Pride team are somehow watching this. Yeah, I believe it starts at 11. I know the main stage acts, I think, start from 12, all on the waterfront. So right near where the Odeon Cinema and the Wagamamas are, on the waterfront opposite the university. That's where we'll be. Trust me, you won't be able to miss it. You won't be able to miss it. You'll be able to hear it from miles away. But yeah, it's going to be really, really good. And we're really hoping for good weather and hoping for lots of support on the day, and just come along and share love in all of its forms and how beautiful and wonderful it is, and let's show a bit of compassion to everybody. Oh, and I think that's about it for this week. Updates wise so far. As I said at the beginning of the video, we're not closing. We're not closing. We're just having a little bit of a period where I need a bit of a lull to recoup myself, and once my PhD starts to sort of hit the ground running and find a nice rhythm, and then once I'm recovered and I've got my nice new rhythm and my work going, we'll be back firing on all cylinders again. At least that's what I hope. And the more we fundraise, the sooner we can get out of this place, get into somewhere bigger, and then the world's going to change, essentially. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining me today while I do this very tedious, boring task of sorting out these key rings. I love you all. Thank you so much for supporting me and the animals, and I will speak to you soon.